Hello, BookTube. I have a little bit of mail haul for you, just a couple of packages. I was thinking originally it's not really enough to bother with a video, but then I thought, yeah, I want to open my mail with you anyway. And it's two packages. We've done 40-minute videos on one package, so let's do both of these. It doesn't have to be a long video. And we'll just see what we have here. We'll see what is in the mail for today. I know for a fact that neither one of these things, they're both small. I'm waiting on a couple of things that will not be small packages. So neither one of these things aren't that. Okay, so what is this first one? Okay, this is from Erdman's Publishing, Grand Rapids, Michigan, religious publisher. I didn't request this, but let's see what we have here. This comes out in May, and it is by Tiffany Yeck Brooks, and it's called Gaslighted by God, Reconstructing a Disillusioned Faith. No idea why that's titled the way it is. It's the past is of course gaslit, not gaslighted. But let's see what we have here. What happens when the God we've been taught to believe in seems powerless to help us in the struggles of life? What do we do when the God we personally encounter no longer resembles the God we've been shown in narrow interpretations of the Bible? Many of those raised in the world of fundamentalist Christianity have been manipulated into accepting a false reality that runs counter to lived experience. The result is confusion, isolation, fear, shame, and trauma, often carried throughout one's entire life. This book is for the victims of this spiritual abuse, anyone looking to reclaim their faith from legalism, nationalism, sexism, anxiety, intolerance, and other mechanisms of control utilized by God's self-appointed gatekeepers. I don't know about you, I'm pretty interested by now. It's for anyone who has learned that the real God is infinitely complex, that authentic faith is perfectly compatible with doubt, and that our suffering is not something we've earned. Gaslighted by God is not a book of easy answers. It's a companion to those mourning the loss of a belief system who need their pain recognized and legitimized. The author shows, through stories from her own life, conversations with Christians from a variety of backgrounds, historical anecdotes, and messy episodes from Scripture, that there can be a faith after disillusionment. But it will be a different faith, bruised, battered, nuanced, and real, rather than one wrapped in tissue-thin platitudes and three-point sermons. It will be a faith empowered to see beyond who God should be to who God is. Okay. I'm sold, and now I definitely want to know who this author is. Who is this author? She is the lead or contributing writer on more than 24 books, including multiple New York Times bestsellers. She's the co-author of Fear is a Choice. Even I know that one. Limitless. And the narrative nonfiction historical thriller Espionage and Enslavement in the Revolution. She holds a PhD from Florida State University, where her dissertation covered in part cultural adaptations of stories from the Book of Genesis. Florida State, I've heard, those of you who are in Florida, I've heard it's a very, very good state university. Any of you confirm or deny that? Not to slight the author at all. I'm sure that she's the real deal, but I've heard that it's inordinately good as a state university, even though it's in what is widely regarded by the rest of the country as the padded cell lunatic asylum of the 50 states. A popular speaker for student groups, faith conferences, and academic lectureships, the author has taught literature and writing at Abilene Christian University, McMurray University, and the University of Southern California, Carolina, Beaufort. Okay, well, I don't know what the guts of the book will be like, but I love the summary, which I hope was written by the author. So there you go. Despite the problematic title, Gaslighted by God. Unless maybe the meme use, I mean, gaslighting has become a meme word, a meme term on social media. Maybe the past of that meme term version is gaslighted and not gaslit. One way or another, I like the sound of this. It's not until May, but it's a religious book that I like the sound of. So then we'll do this next one, and then we'll be done. These are not. There are a couple of huge items coming that you'll be able to hear the supersonic Steve squeal from 3 states away, but this is not that. Oh, great. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I was notified about this. Uh, Great. Okay. This is by David Cypress, and it is called What's So Funny? A Cartoonist Memoir. And this doesn't come out until next year either. Yeah, this comes out in March. But this is a memoir of the New Yorker cartoonist, David Cypress. Let me show you one of his cartoons. Those of you who know the New Yorker cartoons will recognize his style right away. It's kind of, oh, that's a very, very early thing. What if we find something later? Yes, there we go. You'll recognize that, right? That style. If you know the New Yorker, then you know this guy's artwork. And since I showed you this cartoon, I should read you the caption. Thank goodness you're here. I can't accomplish anything unless I've had a deadline. Which reminds me of another New Yorker cartoon uh, it wasn't David Cypress. It's earlier than him. It shows a guy in his den. He's sitting at his writing table, and his wife is at the door, answering the door, and the Grim Reaper is at the door, and she's calling over her shoulder, "Oh dear, someone's here to collect your works." That's a perfect spur for the stagnated author. Someone's here to collect your works. But let's see what we have here. I don't have a sheet for this, but the one thing I didn't want to go on. The publicist that recommended this to me, I didn't want to go on to her. She has a hard enough job as it is. I didn't want to go on and on to her about how much I love New Yorker cartoons and how much I think about them. But I assure you, I will not spare my readers. So this has a blurb by Raj Chast, who's one of the greatest New Yorker cartoonists of them all. And the description is Cypress, a dreamer and obsessive drawer, like living with his Upper West Side family in the age of JFK and Sputnik, goes hazy when it comes to the ceaselessly imparted lessons on life from his meticulous father and the angsty expectations of his migraine-prone mother. With wry and brilliantly observed prose, Cypress paints the hapless place in the family from the time he is tricked by his unreliable older sister into rocketing his pet turtle out his 12th floor bedroom window, to the moment he walks away from a Harvard PhD program in Russian history to begin his life as a professional cartoonist. His cartoons appear in the story with spot-on precision, including delightful aha moments in answer to the perennial question aimed at cartoonists: where do you get your ideas? Okay, great. Well, let's see here. I don't know anything about this author. I know his work. He's in a ton of my New Yorker cartoon collections. He has been a staff cartoonist since 1998 for the New Yorker, and he has published nearly 700 cartoons. He lectures widely on cartooning, and his autobiographical writing has appeared frequently on NewYorker.com. Okay, what's so funny? A New Yorker cartoon biographer, a New Yorker cartoonist biographer. To put it mildly, this is right up my alley. So, of course, I won't be reading this in 2021, but one thing I will be doing tonight will be going to all of my New Yorker collections and finding everything by David Cypress that's collected in them. The more recent ones will have tons by him. So that is the mail. Little mail haul. A warm and windy day here in Massachusetts. The weird pressure spike between two troughs of fairly chilly weather. The chilly weather will be back tomorrow. It was here yesterday, but not today. Today it was almost short sleeves weather. And I probably don't need to point it out, but I'm trying a different kind of lighting system here. To my eye, it doesn't look that bad. We'll see. You'll be the final judge of it. So there you go. Those are our two books, both interesting in their own way. Gaslighted by God, and What's So Funny? A memoir by a New Yorker cartoonist. Fantastic. As far as mail goes, fantastic. So I'm gonna wrap this up. That was just a quick Monday mail haul, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.